So, how to have sex on the first date?
If you're new here, my name is Luca and I'm one of the world's leading experts about approaching girls in the daytime. Since 2018 I've helped over 1200 men sleeping with new girls approached in the daytime. I started teaching it only in Italy in 2018 and then also internationally from 2022.
So, for having sex to the first date is based on the three escalation method. There is not an official name, but it's just like a method that I called in this way. And now I will talk about it in a moment. But if there is an absence of one of these escalation that we will see now in a moment, this will cause a loss of interest in the girl, and you will never see her again. You will never have sex on the first date. You will never ever see again this girl for a second date. So you will not have sex with this girl. And also, if you have the chance to have sex on the first date, actually this is around 80% of cases. Actually, most part of the girls that you are dating, you can have sex at the first date. It's just that you don't know how. Okay, 80% of the girls you can have sex at the first date. Sometimes you will need a second date. I never had sex at the third date. Okay, so most part of the times you can have sex also directly in the same day that you meet the girl. If it's a day game situation, it's called the same delay. If it's from night game, it's called a one night stand. Pretty much everybody know about a one night stand. So if you have the chance at the first date and you don't have sex with the girl at the first date, you will lose her, because you're showing a lack of social intelligence, because you're not understanding the situation, and the girls are attracted from the so-called social intelligence. So if you don't understand the situation, she will lose interest for you. Also, sometimes maybe you understand the situation, you understand that you can have sex with her, but you don't have the courage for making the invitation at home. You don't know what to do. This is called, as I told you, lack of social intelligence. But sometimes you know how to do it, but you just don't have enough courage. And this is also something that is very unattractive for the girl. Girls are attracted from the confidence. So when you're showing the opposite of confidence, when you're showing that you are not confident, that you don't have the courage to make an invitation, to make things move forward, she will lose interest. Okay, so having said that, let's talk about the first escalation. I will already tell you, and now the three escalation, and then we will analyze it one by one. So the first one is the logistical escalation, the second one is the verbal escalation, and the third one is the physical escalation. So let's analyze it one by one. So logistical escalation, it's just basically, it means moving towards the sex location. Okay, you will start in a certain point of your city, it depends where you live, and you have to move towards different locations until the sex location. The sex location can be your place, it can be her place, it can be your car. There are not many other options. Actually, there are other options, but now we will not talk about it in this video. So moving towards the different locations until you arrive at the sex location. Many people, they don't think about this when they are organizing a date. They organize dates in random places. They don't think about the different requirements that a location has to have. For example, if you are sitting in front of each other, it's impossible to make physical escalation. It's impossible to touch the girl, and we will see it now in a moment. It's important to touch the girl to make the physical escalation. Otherwise, you cannot kiss her, and if you're not kissing the girl, it's pretty difficult to have sex with her. You can do it, but no, let's not talk about exceptions. Okay, the location that you're choosing, it has to be like not too loud but not too quiet. Okay, because if you go in a too loud place, you will not be able to communicate with the girl. So no dates at dinner, because you will not be able to sit next to each other in 99% of cases. No dates at the cinema. Okay, so there are other requirements, but now we will not go in details about everything. Also, as I told you, move through different locations towards sex. This is like the main principle about the logistical escalation. And also the logistical escalation includes also seeding, and at a certain moment the invitation for your place, or to our place, or to your car. It depends how you are organized logistically. But if you're never seeding possible activities that you can do later, and if you're not also seeding where is your place, if at a certain moment during the conversation, during the date, you're not saying that, oh, I live 5 minutes away from here, I live 10 minutes away by car, I live 15 minutes away by walking. If you're never telling to the girl where do you live, in which which area of the city do you live, it's you can still make the invitation at the end, but seeding, it's important, because you're starting to compose the idea in the girl's mind that something may happen later. okay? And then the invitation is just the final piece of the seeding. So you have to seed about possible activities. Usually it's just eating or drinking. There are not many activities that you can seed. Actually, you can also seed, for example, for watching a movie, but you have to talk about these things. So if you're for example, if you're talking about wine, you can ask if she likes more white wine or red wine. You can say something about it, and then you can say, oh, maybe later we can drink a glass of red wine together. But later we will see if you behave well. Okay, this is also called seeding in negative, but we will not go in details about this, otherwise it will be too long. So seeding activities, and then at the end of the date, making a proper invitation, which is not, oh, do you want to go to my place? Do you want to go to my place to fuck? It's not like that. You have to make a proper invitation. Okay, so this is just some principles about the logistical escalation. Let's talk about the verbal escalation, and also understand, you have to understand that if you're not thinking about the logistical escalation, your dates will end always with, in the best cases, you will only kiss the girl, but you will never have sex with girls. So if you're in the kind of situation where you're having lots of dates, you are kissing lots of girls, but you never have sex with girls, also consider about learning about logistical escalation. Then I'm not checking if there are some comments. Okay, later I will read the comments, so if you have any question, you can keep typing your question in the chat box, and I will read it later. Let me drink 1 second. So verbal escalation. This is the second escalation that you have to learn if you want to have sex at the first date, and also in general if you want to have sex with girls and not just ending up in the friend zone. But actually, with cold approach, you will never end up in friend zone. You will just not see the girl again. You will not become friends. You will just not see her again. So verbal escalation, sometimes I also call it flirting. Okay, you can call it as you want. Flirting, verbal escalation, it's the level 2 of conversation. The main problems that guys have when we're talking about success with women is approach anxiety. Then the second biggest problem is what do I say to the girl? And then after I say this, what do I say? So problems about conversation. And when guys, they understand the principles of conversation, they learn what to say to the girl, but it's just a level 1 of conversation. If you're only able to speak, if you're only able to never run out of things to say, but what you're saying to the girl, it's too platonic, you will not have sex with the girl talking about what is her brother's name, what did she eat yesterday for lunch, how is the weather, how was her day at work. You will not have sex by talking about these things. Okay, so you have to, at a certain moment, flirt with the girl, move the conversation in a more sexual, I don't know, in a more sexual side. I don't know how to say now. I don't know which word to use for this. So this is the level 2 of conversation. If you're not able to flirt with the girl, you will end up always without having sex. Okay, it's more important the physical escalation. Actually, we will see it now in a moment. But if you're speaking about platonic things, you will not have sex. Okay, it's okay to talk about platonic things at the beginning of the date, maybe for the first 10, 20, 30 minutes in the worst cases, but then after 30 minutes you have to start talking about something that is more sexual and not platonic. Okay, and actually it's better to start already going in that way after 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, but in the worst case, after 30 minutes. Okay, you cannot have a too long platonic conversation with the girl on a date, otherwise you will not make her excited, and you will not have sex with her. And also you will not have sex at the second date. Okay, you will just never have sex with that girl if you're not able to flirt. And also you will now here we are talking about the date, but actually you will not even get solid numbers if you're approaching girls in day game or night game situations if you're not able to sexualize the conversation. Okay, so the third escalation, as I already told you, that you have to learn if you want to have sex with girls, if you want to stay virgin or just keep jerking off, do not learn these things. But if you want to learn how to have sex on the first date, and also in general at the second date, third date, you have to learn these things. So physical escalation is just basically touching her progressively. Okay, you have to create your set of moves starting from the handshake. Okay, usually you will not have a handshake at the beginning of the date, but this is just an example. You will usually hug or like a kiss on the cheek. Okay, it depends on which country you're living, but let's just say from the handshake until the kiss. Okay, you have to create your set of moves from the lighter to the heaviest, which is the kiss, and create like other 4 or 5 moves in between, and you will know that you will not go to the next move until you completed the previous move, okay? And you will not go to the next move until she's reacting in at least a neutral way, okay? If she's reacting in a very positive way, you can also skip some of the moves, but she has to at least react in a neutral way. So for example, I don't know, you will start the date sitting in front of each other. One of the first things you can do that it's not too heavy is touching your hands, okay? Also, if you're sitting in front of each other, you can take her hand by saying, I don't know, do you always paint your nails with that color, okay, for example, or maybe talking about some rings, some bracelets, the watch, I don't know, okay. You can use many ways to touch her hand, okay? And I don't know, for example, the next move you can use is to make her move to your side, okay? Then the next move that you can use, for example, is at a certain moment touch her hair. This is already a pretty heavy move. Then, for example, what I use next is kissing her on the cheek to test if she's ready for the kiss, or sometimes kissing her on the neck if she's ready, to understand if she's ready for the kiss, and then the kiss, okay? Kiss on the lips, okay? This is just an example of a set of 5-6 moves that you can use from the handshake to the kiss, and then actually the physical escalation also keeps when you are at home. Okay, so you will not have sex automatically when you bring a girl to your place. You also have to keep the physical escalation from the kiss to sex. Okay, outside of your place or to her place, you will make the physical escalation from the handshake to the kiss, but then when you're at your place, you have to keep the physical escalation from the kiss to sex. Okay, sex will not happen automatically.
So, if you want to learn everything from the opening line to the bedroom with new girls approached in the daytime, click the link in the description below and join my From the Approach to the Bedroom program, which also includes my lifetime support. If you have any questions, you can schedule a free call by always using the link in the description.